Awesome. Great. Okay, let's get
Okay.
started.
Well, thank you everyone for joining. And thank you, Dr. Lisa, for hosting this. We want to talk about how to build a high converting website and how to grow your practice, whether it be, recruiting therapists or recruiting or finding new clients. And specifically, we're going to focus on SEO and AI. So this is the official title, but what I really want to talk about is you can do, how you can improve your position in SEO on your own if you didn't want to hire anybody to do it. So I'm going to give you guys some tips that you can walk away with today and implement on your own. Sound good?
Yes.
All right. So, first of all, we want to thank Dr. Lisa for putting this together. And I want to turn it over to her real quick to have her introduce herself if you guys don't already know her.
Well, good morning or good afternoon or right on the cusp. I'm very excited to be here with both of you. My name is Lisa Lovelace. I am a psychologist and I founded Synergy eTherapy years and years ago before COVID made online therapy a popular and normal part of our day. We have expanded to multiple states. I have 20 some therapists that collaborate with me in the Synergy umbrella. We have been randomly picked up by Forbes and other magazines, which has been great. We are a mom and pop shop. So to be named amongst a lot of big venture capital, big
Right.
money groups has always kind of boggled my mind and also been a little bit of an honor. So that's fun. So we can do it, you guys. We can do it off of no money. It is possible. Solo practice or group practice. So I'm excited to be here with the two of you and with Web Therapia and understanding how therapists can really increase their knowledge with the business side, the marketing side of being a therapist. It's different now, since we all have our own practices online, in person, being a part of a group practice or group owner. There's so much that we have to learn. And I just am very thankful that you guys are giving us some knowledge that we can use and bring to our practice every day. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited because you guys are helping our communities, so we want to help you guys. Um, and so a lot of things I want to talk about today. I'm going to talk really fast because we have a very short amount of time, and I also want to make sure that, we give some space for answering questions, if you guys had anything specifically. But I really wanted to talk about 5 things that you can do on your own to better your position or your website's position in the eyes of Google for SEO purposes. So the first thing,
Sorry, I'm just trying to mute somebody. Okay.
the first thing is I'll talk about us in particular, who we're built for. Pretty much specifically built for therapists. I don't know why you guys are at the end on that on this thing right here, but you guys are our primary focus, therapists and private practices. So that really helps us understand what your pain points are and specifically what your needs are. So we're kind of commenting on all of this from that perspective. So the first thing you can do is make sure that your website is built on an open source platform. And what I mean by that is um, an open source platform is basically a technology on which you could build your platform that allows you the ultimate freedom to optimize your website to make it do whatever you want it to do. So I know a lot of people when they start their practice, they're like, oh, I just need to get online, which is absolutely true. And the easiest way to do that is probably through something like Squarespace or Wix. And I absolutely agree with that. If you have no other resources and you don't have any extra money to spend, do that because you want to make sure that your website starts aging immediately. So for example, what I mean by that is if can like therapist A had his website up since 2000 and therapist B had her website up since 2005, if they're both doing the exact same thing, um, therapist A is going to get higher ranked and a lot more traffic. So age matters. But if you do have the resources to do it, we really suggest that you build it on an open platform. And the reason being that the open platform, when you build it, you own the website. If you built it on Squarespace, let's say, if Squarespace, God forbid, should ever go out of business, your website is gone. They take it with them because it's built on their platform for SEO purposes, when you are building on Squarespace, you kind of operate within their parameters. So they say, when you drop a box here, I'm going to code it like XYZ, right? But that may or may not be friendly to the search engine, let's say Google, who is trying to crawl your website, trying to figure out what you're talking about, what your expertise is, where they want to organize you into, right? So when you build it on an open source platform, that language, um, you can tweak, you can refine, you can kind of toggle the bells and whistles to make it do what you want for ultimate SEO performance. Additionally, some other benefits are that it is modular and scalable. So it's easy to build it out and expand it should your practice expand or change. And it's easy to remove things. Let's say you have 50 therapists and you lose 10 of them all of a sudden. It's a matter of click, click, click 10 times and you're done. So open source has its benefits. The second thing is to organize your website.
I was wondering, could I stop you for a second?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know if you're seeing in the chat before we move on. I know there's a couple questions about that specific point one. So I
Okay.
just wanted to make sure that we see. I'm like a chat. I like follow the chat.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm your
yeah.
chat helper. I'm not chat
Thank you.
GPT.
Thank
I'm your
you.
chat therapist helper.
Yeah, okay. Recording, yes, this will be recorded and we'll email out to you guys after the meeting. All right, we got what is an open platform?
We talked about
So
that.
we talked a little bit about that. Basically, open platform allows you to basically build out your website the way you want to do it. If you go with it like a Squarespace or like a Wix, they're going to put parameters on what you can do to your website. They basically don't allow you to use all the bells and whistles that, website can do. Would you be building a website in
With Canva. So Canva, I believe, is mainly for graphics. Am I right about that? So to get it online, you would need, or to get it online, you would need a host and you would need to build something with code behind it. And I don't think Canva allows you to do that. But if there's something more specific, let's save it till the end and I can try to answer that.
Yeah, definitely. Is Weebly an open source platform? Um, it might be, but it's not as good as WordPress. WordPress is really the Ferrari of websites. It pretty much gives you everything that you need to do or allows you to do whatever you need to do to build out your website with all the performance. Let's see, odd question.
So we're on the Wix question.
Go back to a previous Wix website that I created years ago from the current one, still Wix that I hired an SEO specialist to create. Would that be bad for marketing purposes?
Um, I don't know unless I see your website. I mean, there's so much that goes into online marketing that it's hard to say yes or no. Um, Simply going back to a previous build of a website in and of itself is not going to hurt you. Um,
Yeah, there's so
but
many open questions like what was the old website's design? Is there a clear call to action?
we
There's a
can,
lot of what ifs. So yeah, if Whitney, if you wanna, maybe we can sync up after the call, maybe book a discovery call and we can discuss further if you'd like. Lisa, what are some what are some examples of places to go for open platform? What are the
to
alternative
places
places
like.
like Squarespace?
So what we recommend is building on WordPress. So WordPress is kind of probably like one of the few open platform that's very well built out and very mature. Within WordPress, there's a lot of tools that can be used to make building the website easier. For example, we use Elementor, and we teach or coach our therapists to be able to edit a lot of the basic things on their own. So I would say WordPress is probably your premier open platform that you'd want to build a website on. And like I said, within WordPress, there's a lot of other tools you can use to build out or flush out your website.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually the one that mine was built on with Gabe, who I worked with for a while, and you guys now have web therapy, which is wonderful, and it is through WordPress,
Yeah.
and he's taught me how to do things. So I do all the things. I can add a therapist, I can modify things, I know how to add videos, I know how to do meta descriptions. So it is very, very user friendly once you just learn a little bit of how to do it. So that way you're not constantly paying for somebody else to update things when you could go in 5 minutes and do it.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's awesome, Dr. Lisa. Let's see. Is it has been more difficult than
You can read it out loud so everybody
it
knows
has been more difficult to just
or
copy
change.
change things over from one to the other. Um,
Yeah, that was just Whitney saying it seemed like it was more difficult, but she's going to reach out. She left her
yeah,
email
yeah.
because she had to hop off. But yeah, I think
Oh,
she felt like it was difficult to copy and move things over.
okay. Well, yeah, we'll reach out to her. Um, okay. And then if you have an established website on Weebly, 8 years and ranking high on SEO, is it better to switch to WordPress? That's a good question. If you're already doing very well and ranking with SEO, it might make sense just to stick with what you have. I mean, if you're happy with it, things seem to be working. If you're looking at maybe going the extra mile and jumping in the Ferrari seat, then yeah, let's let's talk about, moving over to WordPress, and then utilizing some other SEO tactics. But it's really up to you, Kate, on what you're really looking for. And then Barbara, yeah, if I say if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Yes, that's true. But there are ways to easily, move one website over from, a Wix to a WordPress type of platform. But awesome. So I think we caught up on questions. Let's get back to the website. Great questions, by the way. Really, really great to hear you guys ask us some questions.
Okay, I think I'm just going to be a timekeeper here. We might go over, so we will go over, in fact. So I think what we can do is go ahead and type in your questions, and we'll probably just get all of them at the end. Um,
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah, I think that'll help flow better.
Yeah.
All right, so number two is how to organize your website. I mean, not how to, but you should organize your website. Make sure that it is intuitive, user-friendly, and for SEO purposes, think about it in terms of like a machine trying to categorize and organize your website. If it takes a look at how everything is laid out, is it going to easily understand where it's going, what it's categorizing, and basically, is the structure of your website intuitive? And I'll show you kind of an example um, of some of the things that you might want to pay attention to. So I have a list here at the bottom: intuitive structure, one page for each service, sitemap, and frequent call to action. So I have some examples here. So this client of ours, she's still in the midst of website development, but the one at the upper left is her old site, and the one on the lower right is her new website. So one thing I'll point out to you here is, I mean, they're kind of similar, but there's some slight differences that I'll call attention to. First thing is, notice that there's two call to actions. We haven't done any scrolling yet, and there's already two opportunities that people can make an appointment or schedule a consultation with them. So that's really good because, when we're wanting easy conversion, we have to place the opportunities in front of people. Additionally, we have this ADA accessibility button. And what this essentially does is it will turn your website on and off for various things. You can change languages. It'll translate your whole site into 100 different languages. You can turn off animation if somebody's like overstimulated by it. There's like I think a blind, something for the visually impaired, a bunch of different things that I could call out on just this one single landing page.
Yeah, and another thing I'd like to point out, I have a background in advertising and a minor in psychology. And one thing that I remember learning is that as humans, we scan in a Z pattern. So this is really good, the new layout, because as we're scanning through a Z pattern, the first thing we see is the New Hope. Then we see the Get the Appointment CTA. And as we scan down here, we then see the Get Started CTA. These are all clear call to action for these prospects to come and click and book an appointment with her.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to point out is um, this is something that people don't necessarily think about, but they do run into. Let's say you hire us or anybody to do SEO for you, and they're bringing a ton of traffic to your website, but you're not getting any calls, you're not getting any business from that traffic because they don't know what to do on your site, or they don't click the get appointment, or they get confused. So your website's not converting. Um, that's what we're trying to do here, is to put it in a format that gives your website the best opportunity to convert traffic into potential clients. I have another example here about organization. One of the things that we really highly suggest, especially for therapists, is to have one page for each service area or treatment area. So this is their old site. They had a link that said treatment. You click on it, and there's like, what is it? Eight areas that they service or treat, all on one page. So this is really hard for Google to organize and index and point people to. Let's use this for example. Somebody's searching for a therapist for depression. They may pop up, but like what you want Google to do is serve this page that says you are a specialist in depression, so you can help this person out, instead of bringing them to this one treatment page and they're like, well, why am I here? I got to scroll down how many pages to get to depression. They're not going to stay that long. So this is a really good example of organization. The third thing is consistency. We want to make sure that you are consistently posting new content on your site. This pretty much tells the search engine that you are alive and well and maintaining your site. If they suspect or think that you are not working on your business and updating it constantly, they're going to push you down in the rankings. They want to see people who are actively engaged with their online audience. So posting relevant content in the right quantity and with the right frequency is really important. So this could be anything from blogs to videos to just any bit of content you can host would be super helpful. Um, One thing I talk about here is UGC content. And UGC content is user-generated content, and that kind of translates to videos right now. And I know a lot of you have done podcasts or even have your own podcasts, or you've done interviews or trainings that have been recorded. This is all relevant content that you can post onto your website. And another thing to think about is, let's say I have 10 videos of myself talking about relationships. How do you know you need relationship counseling? Don't post them all at once. You might want to post like one or two each day until you run out. So
Yeah.
put your content on a schedule, stick it on calendar to remind yourself, post them or schedule them out on any of your social media channels.
Yeah, and one thing here that's really important is make sure that, if you don't have time to record an hour webinar or an hour talk and post it on YouTube, just record a few, let's say you set a goal, maybe 10 a month, a few shorts. And what that is basically a quick 15 to 30-second clip, just on your phone. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to be in the office. You can be out walking your dog or in the park. Just give a quick 15-second or 30-second tip on how somebody can deal with their anxiety, how somebody can deal with their depression, and post these on YouTube. YouTube is owned by Google, so it is a huge funnel for clientele for people who are posting there. Let's say you did have a podcast. Shorts are super powerful right now. Most people who own a podcast or run a podcast, most subscribers, about 50% of the subscribers that come in to subscribe to their podcast come in from these YouTube shorts. And YouTube shorts, like I said, are basically just 15 to 30-second clips just posted on YouTube that will drive, kind of top of funnel traffic to your website or your YouTube channel. So they're super powerful. So I highly recommend starting off with that.
Great. See. Okay, number 4 is keywords. I'm sure this is a topic that you guys hear a lot about. And I'm going to give you some really good tips here. So know what your keywords and key phrases are. And to do that, I would think about what areas are you servicing? Where do you want to gain more clients? What area of your practice? So understand what you're looking for. And I'm trying to think of a good example. So for example, I would avoid being too general. You don't want keywords like mental health or therapy. They're really general, and every therapist is going to be using that. Instead, I would say maybe one of your key phrases could be um, expert in trauma counseling in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, or trauma therapist near me, something like that, where you're saying what you service and where you're located. So these keywords need to be sprinkled throughout all of your content. Um, I'm trying to think. So, like in a one page, every page should be about 1,000 to 1,500 words. In one page, I would try to make sure that you say your keyword once in the beginning, 2 to 3 times in the middle, and 1 or 2 times at the end. And these are like rule of thumb because we want to say your keywords, but we don't want to say them so much that the search engine goes, okay, well, they're doing what we call keyword stuffing, which is just shoving that keyword wherever possible. And it makes the content feel fake and, not authentic. So you want to avoid that. Some good places to put your keywords in the title of a page, in the headers, use it in your URL. So let's say, doctor so and so.com/trauma
Anxiety, trauma.
therapy, and
Yeah.
that will bring you to the trauma therapy page, say. And then obviously in the body of your text.
One last thing, you want to make sure, I know she has headers here, but you definitely want to make sure that you have your H1 tags on the back end of your WordPress website filled out. So on the back end of your WordPress website, there'll be a section for a H1, H2, and then the title. You definitely want to make sure that you have that H1, which basically stands for header one. This is something on the back end that Google searches for when they're scraping websites. So in the H1, if you have your title like how to solve anxiety or how to solve your trauma. That's something that Google will scrape and pick up and will definitely push you to the top when prospects are searching for trauma in North Carolina or whatever, because Google sees, hey, this person has this H1 filled out on the back end. We believe they're, of high authority. Let's promote their website to the top in a search.
Yeah. Okay, and the last tip I have for you is maintenance. So earlier I had talked about if the search engine does not think that you are active on your website, they're going to downgrade you on ranking because they don't think you're working your business or working the online aspect of your business. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you do a website audit for performance. So if and this also has to do with people leaving too. If somebody goes to your website, let's say they type it in or click on something, and it takes more than 3 seconds to load, they will leave. So you want to make sure that your website is loading quickly, both the desktop version as well as the mobile version. The second is you want to make sure that you're removing errors and warnings that are on your website. So sometimes if you go in and adjust something, or let's say you've linked it to somebody else's photo or something that's no longer there ends up being errors and warnings. And when there are too many of them, or when there are any at all, really, Google also doesn't like that, and it down links or pushes you down on the search because they're like, okay, well, you're not maintaining your site. There's all these broken links, images that don't work. So we want to show that you are always maintaining your site, you are active, your business is active and working. So here are some things that you can be watching out for: broken links or images, duplicate titles and descriptions, URLs that are too long, and generally anything that is preventing Google from crawling and organizing or indexing your website. Oh, right. So I wanted to give an example of um, three of our clients that all started their SEO in May of 2024. So they're all in different places. One is in Arizona, one's in Florida, and one's in Connecticut. And you see here that this is their average ranking, and this is the term that they're ranking for. So you see here, psychotherapy in West Hartford. So it says what they do and the location that they're doing it in. So this is doing quite well. This one just says what they're doing, and they're also doing quite well. So either works. Um, Notice though that this one does a little bit better than this one, just because we say the location and we're very specific. But the average ranking is one or two, right? Now this one in the middle is not doing as well. If you take a look at the term they're using, it's mental health therapy. That's really generic. It doesn't say where they are. Um, it's just pretty much not specific. Additionally, they haven't paid a lot of attention to their Google My Business, which also contributes to ranking, especially local SEO. So they're doing okay. They're still on the first page, number 4 on average. But with little tweaks, they could be doing a lot better. And yeah, and mainly it's because they haven't given us all of their credentials for Google My Business. So it's really important to get set up correctly and to, make sure that you got all your ducks lined up in a row.
Cool. So here's a few therapist solution or a few solutions for you guys, some things that you guys can uh, do to your website or use in your practice. One, I think we talked about it a little bit, is adding a ADA accessibility system to your website. And this is actually a law, but it's not really enforced. But all our websites come with that. It basically allows, like Cindy was saying, the visually impaired or people who might have a disability to be able to view and interact with your website. Um, Another writing tool that you guys can use in your practice to um, basically run your practice and take notes with AI is called software called Berries. That is something that you guys can use, and I'll be sending out links for all these recommendations after the webinar. Another good video generator, AI video generator that I've used actually is this software called NVIDIA. It's very good. You could basically just go to the website, type in what you're trying to create a video on. Let's say how to solve trauma or how to deal with trauma. Type that in, give it like a minute or two. The software will then create a video for you, spit it out, and then you can repurpose that and use it on YouTube or your website or your social media.
Yeah, so these are all kind of like AI type solutions. Because we know you guys are all busy and any extra help any of us can get would be great. So these are just AI tools to help you guys run faster, I guess, or do more and multiply yourselves. The middle two, I also want to just bring attention to would be good for you guys to do in terms of the consistency portion, making sure that you're generating new content and posting those for SEO purposes.
Yeah, and we'll send out more information on this. I know we're a little bit over, so we want to make sure that we can get to all your questions. So just to kind of close this out before we go into the Q&A, we make it easy for you guys. We have, oh geez, probably like almost 20 website templates that we use as a framework, as a foundation. These are templates that convert, look nice, have a clear CTA call to action. are easily searchable in search engines. We create the content and we make you go live. Here's a little bit of, reviews from our clients in the past. Um, and we basically work on a 1, 2, 3 step process. We look at this process of working with therapists kind of like as a long-term partnership. It's not just build your website, okay, we're done. We're really here to help you guys, maintain your website, update your website if you don't feel comfortable. So your website is the first step. The second step is SEO, and we've talked a lot about, SEO. We offer both local SEO packages and national SEO packages for those of you who are more remote. And there's different tactics that you can utilize. If you're a local practice working in, let's say, New York, New York, you're gonna you're gonna you're going to go about SEO differently if you're like a virtual practice and you can practice in multiple states. So there's different tactics that you can utilize to basically run your SEO and make sure that you're working it efficiently.
So I'll comment a little bit about this. So we just talked about 5 things that you can do today to put yourself in a better SEO position. So this these packages cover all of those on a consistent basis, right? So we're monitoring your site weekly. We're creating content monthly, new content monthly. And that content includes videos, podcasts, blogs, the technical auditing every month, the performance auditing, Google My Business posts and maintenance, backlinks. What are those things called? Press releases to your local news outlets. So we do a bunch of things. And we kind of like take that off of your plate. So we can, because this is what we do it consistently and we do a good amount of it so that search engines will give you their attention.
Yep, exactly. So step one, website. Step two is SEO. And step three, which is something that you guys should also consider, is marketing. And this comes down to, like we said, videos on YouTube, social media marketing, and or Google Ads. So it's kind of an ongoing relationship that we like to basically continue to work with you guys to ensure that you guys are successful and seeing a good ROI from your website and
For your business.
for your business. So for everybody who registered for this webinar, we're gonna offer a exclusive offer, $500 off your website and a free month of SEO and a free basically custom marketing strategy session for you guys to really build something out that works for you guys. We could take a look at what you're currently doing, how your website is currently performing,
What your goals
what your
are.
goals are, and really build something custom to really help you succeed. And yeah, if you're not ready to take us up on this offer, no worries. Feel free to book a discovery call and we can, talk, what you're dealing with, what you're going through right now, and basically help you grow your practice. So I think that's it. We're a little bit over time, but we'll open it up for
Well, let's go through the chat
questions right
questions.
now and see how we could see if we can help this one. We got to that. Keep the same domain. Yes, definitely keep the same domain, unless you're switching practices. But yeah, and there's ways of transferring your domain to your new website, or you know, there's ways to do that. Uh,
How do you put how do you put a podcast we are a guest on? Where do we put it on our website?
so you can actually, I'm not sure what platform you're on, but WordPress does have a media widget. So on the back end, you could be, as you're creating your page, depending on where you want to put it, you can add the media widget and then add the YouTube URL, or if it's a short video, you can upload the video directly there.
Okay, so if you guys want to use berries, Lisa has a coupon code.
Yeah, we'll connect Lisa and then we'll get that from you and send that off.
What about linking WordPress to either EHR for appointment? Yes, we
Yes,
can
we
do
do
that.
that. Yep, we can help with that. Yes, all EHRs are linked easily. Thank you, Dr. Lisa. Yep.
Okay, if we have created our own website on a site like Weebly, would you still be able to help with SEO? Yes.
Yes, we can.
And do you have to first create a new website for your business? No, you do not.
You do not. Nope.
I missed the screen that had the website options. Can we see that again? Deborah, which one is it? I'm curious about how to improve my SEO ranking when my practice is virtual. I'm based in Canada, as you said, using the keywords of search. So Kate, there's a lot of different options for that. So if your website or if your practice is 100% virtual, you could definitely still do it. If you're focused on a particular area, um, there's different strategies to go about it.
Yeah, there's many
And
ways.
basically you can put geolocation information on your website, or you can create a Google My Business that says you service a particular area rather than, a specific city that you're in. Or you can create a Google My Business that says a specific address, and we start the SEO with that as the epicenter. So lots of ways to go about doing it.
Yeah, or you could do like a national plan, kind of national tactic, which takes a little bit longer, but there's ways of adding a page on your website for each location that you service. So in Canada, I don't know, have a page dedicated to Montreal, Canada, and then have another page dedicated to Alberta, or just go on down the line so that when people are searching for therapists in Alberta or wherever, Google will see that you work there and you offer services there and push you to the top. Yeah, so there's a couple different, there's actually a lot of different tactics,
It
but
just
those are
kind of
just a few.
depends on your goals and your budget and how aggressive you want to be. So that, I mean, if you have something really specific around that, you could book a call with us and be happy to chat with you more on that.
Yeah, so it's just webtherapia.com, and I'll just add it in the chat.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think
Big one up there. I think it was before the options of SEO packages.
SEO packages. I think it was just the
Okay.
was it the pricing page?
I don't know. This
This
one.
one, web design. So yeah, so typically, a custom website, is going to cost anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000. And like I said, anybody who registered for this webinar will get $500 off and a free month of SEO. There's a custom web design, based off of a template that we know converts. We'll train you how to use your website. Like Dr. Lisa said, she easily can, make changes, add people, delete people, that kind of stuff. We will supply the images. We'll work with you on the content. If you already have content on your website, we can repurpose that content. If you don't like the content, we can definitely assist in creating new content. It's basically we offer a white glove delivery service. We host your website, so basically your website has to live somewhere. You can't just build your website. It just doesn't live out there. You have to actually host it on a server, on a platform. This is with all service providers. Squarespace is also, host website as well. And will offer you up to 10 core pages, 10 pages for your website that'll basically talk about what you do.
Do you help psychologists who are part of Psych Pack and can practice? Yes. I
Yeah.
just talked to somebody 2 days ago about
Yeah.
that one, and we can definitely do it. Again, it depends on kind of like what your budget is, if you have a specific demographic that you're trying to get to.
Yeah, I'm in SciPact, and three of us right now, psychologists, are in SciPact in my group, and we get hits from all over places that nobody is physically licensed, but there's three of us that have SciPact, so it does show up as an option. People find us. Mhm.
Great. Can you speak a bit more about some of the AI tools that are helpful for therapists to grow our practices? All right. Yeah, we could talk a little bit about that. Let me see. Let me get back to it. Okay. So, um, so this page right here. Just close this. Okay, this page right here. So the two on the end, the ADA accessibility, sorry, just this one. The ADA accessibility is something that that comes with all of our websites. So if you go to, can I show them a website?
Yeah, sure.
Can you just go to webtherapia.com? Okay, so if you come to our website right here, you'll see that we have this ADA accessibility thing, and it allows you to choose from all these languages that you want to translate your website into. So whoever comes to use it can use this. There's epilepsy safe mode, there's visually impaired mode, all sorts of things. Mute sound, hide images, stop animation. So all of these things will help hopefully anybody access your website. Right back to the thing.
Okay, back
Yeah,
to,
and just a note on that, everybody should have that on their website, whether you're a solo therapist or group owner. Um, it's very important. And there certainly are people that need it, number one. And there's also people going around trying to find those that don't, saying, you are discriminating against me in a certain way. And there can be lawsuits that do happen. So just wanted to make sure that everybody knows if you have a website, that is important to have.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we
exactly.
don't want to scare anybody, but yes, we've heard of sue happy people.
Yeah, so another thing that we kind of touched on is berries.icu. And it's basically a way for therapists to take notes and automate note creation. I know that in your practice you have to make sure that you're HIPAA compliant, right, and storing information in the right way. Um, so that is definitely a software that you guys should take a look at. I believe Dr. Lisa uses this. Is that correct?
I do. I tried out several different AI scribes, and they run in the background with patient consent, of course, that we get in writing, but some will say no, thank you, and that's okay too. And you just do your notes as you always did. But I did try out many. Berries is the one I landed on after a lot of my research. I talked extensively with the co-owners. I do have a affiliate link and a coupon code so you can get money off your first month, which you can't get. They do have 20 free that you can try, but you'll want to sign up using a link that we give you and the code so you get money off if you do sign up on your own. But it runs in the background. It takes the most amazing notes you've ever seen. You can edit, you can set your template to be for assessment, intake, medication, whatever, however you want your note to be, as little or as much. So definitely look into that if that's something that would help you. And it does cut down on people not remembering, forgetting to do their notes. It's easy as copying and pasting into your EHR. So definitely highly recommend.
Awesome. Yep. Great. Great. And I think one other thing I know we're almost at an hour. Wow, it went by fast. One thing that I'll share regarding the video generator is the in video. So let's just go through this together. AI video generator. And there's a few out there. I've used several of them, but the one that I am happy with is this one here, in video AI. And they have a both free and a paid version. But basically you just easily, I wonder if they can allow me to do one right now. I probably have to log into the account. But it's a real easy way. Just type in exactly what you're looking for or type in what you're trying to do. Like make a quick 30-second video about how to deal with trauma. And you give it a second and it'll create a video, add the people, add the pictures, add the sound, and create your video for you. You can then download that video, edit it, and post it to, your social media, which is super helpful. So let's see, do we have any more questions? Awesome. Okay, someone has to leave for 10 a.m., which is great. But yeah, if any of you have any other questions or you want to, talk about anything marketing, please book a discovery call on our website. Once again, it's webtherapia.com. So just go to our website. You can book a call, discovery call at the right page on the top right. And yeah, thank you so much for everybody for joining today and great questions.
Is there anything else, Dr. Lisa, that you
No,
want?
I just thank you both for all of these wonderful insights and actionable steps that I hope is helpful for everybody to take away today. And it really is amazing to have just a consult call with you guys to just kind of go over it. And there's obviously a lot of options out there for people to help with everything from virtual assistants to website developers to marketers. And what I love that you guys provide is kind of that, like you said, the white glove. So it's like everything that you will need is there as an option. So I'm just excited that you guys are offering this, and I had no idea you were even offering all the discounts. So that's just amazing. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for your partnership too.
Of
And yeah,
course.
thank you again for everybody to joining, and thank you again to Dr. Lisa for partnering on this webinar. This has been super fun talking to all you guys. And yeah, please reach out if you guys have any other questions. Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
All right, have a great
Have a great
one.
week. Bye bye.